Hey guys, this is Kevin from Kevin and Caroline, and today we're going to do a little bit of a different video from the usual. We're going to do a Plasti dip of dashboard / interior trim of your car. So the car I'm doing it to is a 2000 Toyota Celica, but all dashes could be done and taken apart if you just use the tips that I'm going to tell you. You should be able to tackle your job, whatever car it is. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to plan out what you want to do. You're going to want to see what colors you want to do, what pieces you want to do, and see what colors are going to work for what your dashboard or whatever pieces you're doing, what the colors around them are, match up. So if you have a tan dashboard and the trim you're going to do is going to be like, I don't know, purple, that might not match up too well. So just think about that. So first off, plan what you're going to do, and then go from there. So once you got your pieces picked out and the colors picked out, let's start disassembling the dash and getting the pieces out that we want to paint. So after you plan out what you're going to paint and what color, you're going to want to look for pieces you can take off that might reveal screws that need to be taken out to remove the piece you're working on. So the first and obvious thing is usually knobs. So let's first start and take off these knobs, and as you can see, they just come right off. Easy. Just pull those out. And as you can see, we have a screw on each side. So that reveals to us the first things we can work on. And also, see, nothing behind there, so we won't worry about that. And some pieces may come up with no screws needing to be removed, and those we'll get to here in a second, but first let's get these screws out. Alright, so we got the screws out, and just a side note, always keep everything in one place. Your knobs and your screws that you're going to take out, keep them in one place that you're not going to lose them or them fall in a crack somewhere. Alright, so next we're going to look for any pieces that may just pop off just from pulling on them. This Toyota Celica is cheap, and oh look, you can reveal underneath the shifter there, and we're going to give this piece a little tug, and as you can see, this just comes up, it just clipped in there. So that piece, literally, you just pull on it and it comes up. The only thing you have to watch out for now is if there is something like the cigarette lighter or anything electronic that's going to be plugged in, you're going to want to remove that clip there, and don't just yank it out until you get that out. Obviously, you don't want to strip the wires or pull them out without unplugging it. Alright, so we got that unplugged. Now we're just going to remove this piece and work it around here. Trying to do it one-handed is a little more difficult, of course. Okay, so that came off. If we want, we can paint that, and we'll set it to the side for now, because we're going to work on getting the rest off. Now, that also revealed two more screws down below here. So we know that this piece is connected with screws. So let's go ahead and work on getting those out. Alright, so we got those screws out. Hopefully my camera will focus here. Okay, so the screws are out. And now we're going to just give it a tug from down here and see what happens. Okay, so the whole thing, this whole piece here, as you can see, is coming up in one whole go. It was all just plastic clips holding it in. And now we have another electronic here, so we're going to check. And yep, we got wires. So we're going to undo that real quick. Alright, so unplugged. Our next piece here, this whole piece is out. And now that's the whole center dash piece out. You might want to take pictures as you go if yours is more complicated, so you know which order to put things in and whatnot. There is one more piece that I'm going to take out, and I'm going to look up here at this. So this has the dome light, and it also has the sunroof open and close switch and your dome light switch. So we're going to take that out, and as you can see, there's one screw there, so we'll get that out. Alright, so screws out, and let's just give it a small tug on the side that the screw came out. Okay, that was easy. So that came out. So we'll set that to the side, and now we're gonna probably want to paint those switches so it doesn't look funny. So let me get out. I'm seeing one screw there, and we'll get that out and see what happens after that. Okay, so after the screw came out, the piece came down. My camera's not focusing, I apologize, but we do have a switch there, or a plug-in, so we're gonna unplug that real quick. And now we're looking at the piece. I just want to get those switches off, that's all I care about. And it looks like it's hard to see there, but there's just a little knob that's connected there on either side. So we're actually going to get that out, and it looks to be the same with the other side. So we're just gonna pry those off real quick. Alright, so we got everything spaced out here, and I'm a cheap ass and I forgot that I did not have painter's tape, so I actually just used some scotch tape to cover that up. And I guess that'll be an example of showing you that Plasti dip will peel off of what you want it to. So I just covered the hole. I'm hoping whatever that trim that I didn't cover, I'll be able to peel off. Same goes for the buttons on the clock. I left some of that uncovered there. We'll see how it peels up. So hopefully that doesn't fuck up. But yeah, we'll see how it peels. Let's start painting. So there's a Plasti dip, and it is red, and I actually have the handle there. So make sure you shake it really well before you start, which I've already done. And you're gonna want to start with some light coats and a sweeping motion. So here we go. And don't be afraid if it's a little light. Your first couple coats, that's okay. You want it to be light. And make sure you also cover all of your angles. You don't want to miss a side. Alright, so our first layer, as you can see, is pretty transparent. You can actually barely see it on some stuff. So we're going to let that dry for a couple minutes here and come back for round 2. Alright, so we're going to do coat number 2, a little bit thicker. So I just do same sweeping motions, just a little bit slower. You want about 50% overlap between when you're doing your coats here. So we're going to start to see more of the red. But we're still going to be slightly transparent, and that is okay. Alright, so looks like I missed a spot. There's that little bit of striping going on there, but that's okay. That'll fill in with your next coats. And don't forget your buttons. And I'm going to go ahead and put a couple more coats on, and then we'll look at the finished product and we'll put her in. Alright guys, so I stopped at 4 coats. There's still partial transparency. As you can still see what was underneath. And it's not overpoweringly red. It's just kind of a, I don't know, like I said, transparent red. So I'm gonna stop at that. Make sure you read the dry time. Whenever you do paint, always make sure you wait. Don't try to rush it. You will mess it up and you'll be sad and you'll do it again and you'll cry. So wait. If this says 4 hours, we're gonna wait 4 hours. We're gonna come back, we're gonna put it in, and then we'll take a look at it then. Alright guys, so we've waited our dry time. So now we're gonna try to peel off some of the sections like I said earlier and see how those come off. You just want to find a corner and pick at it. Since this is a very fine piece here and it's hard to really get your fingernail in there or something, I'm gonna grab a knife. I'm sure you could use like a screwdriver, something with a sharp edge though, just to get in that corner and start peeling it up. So let's get a knife out here real quick. Got the knife. You can also, I'm sure, use a razor blade would work very well for that. All right, so we're gonna peel this up now. You want to get something sharp, knife, razor blade, some of that manner, and we're gonna get in this corner here, and we're gonna try to peel up that corner. Now it's gonna be hard to do while I'm holding the camera and trying this, so I'm actually going to set the camera down for a second and peel this corner up and get it started. So I wasn't able to get the very corner, but I got an edge started. And now it's as easy as just kind of going along here and pushing that edge back, and it should slowly keep pushing back, and then you can even try to get at it, and if you can get your kind of pinch it and grab it up, it should start peeling off as one solid layer. But we'll just keep pushing it back here, and there you go. See, now I got it up. And as you pull on it, it's actually coming up as one big layer. So now I'm going to set down the camera here and get to work on this and finish it real quick. Alright, so as you can see, it peeled the corners, or peeled the edges very nicely. There's that one spot right there that was giving me a little bit of trouble. But you can go back in, like I said, with a razor blade, clean that up. But yeah, there it is. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next thing. And I'm going to go ahead and take all those off real quick, and then I'll show you. And then we'll get her in. Alright, so finished product, all back together. Peeled the Plasti dip off the buttons there. I never did paint those 3 buttons. And peeled off of the clock there pretty nicely. Like I showed earlier, peeled off of the light there, but it also is transparent enough. If you can see, you can still see what was underneath there, the options for your air conditioning and all that, so that's pretty nice. What I did is 1 light coat and then about 3 medium coats. Nothing too heavy, and you can always add more layers and then stop where you like. But I think that came out pretty nice, pretty easy to do, not too long, and it adds a little personalization to your car. And if you ever didn't want it or didn't like it, you can always peel it off. So that's the video, guys. Hope it helped you, and if you have any questions, you can leave a comment. And using the tips I showed earlier, you should be able to do this with just about any car. So like I said, have any questions, let me know, and thanks for watching.